I 21M gave my girlfriend 21F an ultimatum. My girlfriend and I have been dating since June-July of this year and have known one another since 2011. When we started hanging out more, I noticed she has a lot of males on her Snapchat. The majority of people on her Snapchat are males. I was concerned about this and went on her phone to see what was going on. I found nudes saved in chat with a couple of them from months and even years before we were together. She reassured me that they are only friends and nothing has happened since we've been together. Since that happened, we have been open with one another about our phones and have full access to them. Last night I got out of my shower and she was on my phone and asked who a person was and that she has seen suspicious text messages with them. It was my male friend and we make gay comments to one another despite both being straight. This morning I decided to go on her phone and I found messages from earlier in the year before we were together with a male friend she talks to nearly every day, if not every day, and there were call logs for hours and SQL messages of him saying all the things he wants to do to her. After that I decided to look into other people on her phone and found saved selfies where she is looking very good as well as over-the-top compliments replying to her stories. All of this set me into a state of panic throughout the day, and when she came back over later in the day I decided to voice it to her. I started by telling her I have been panicking all day and need to talk to her. I told her I went on her phone and her immediate reaction seemed unhappy. I proceeded to tell her what I was uncomfortable about and she told me there's not much she can do as they are just friends now, and that we have different views on how friendships work. She asked me what I want her to do about it, and I told her I want her to block these 3 people or I can't be with her. She told me to get out of her car and she is refusing to talk to me because she believes what I did was quite radical and insecure. She has other male friends who I have no reason to be uncomfortable with as I have seen the way they interact, and some of them even have girlfriends. I was fine with this one friend up until I saw their past messages and it really rubbed me the wrong way as I never know of that before today. I'm not sure what I should do in this situation. Everyone I have spoke to about this agrees that those friendships shouldn't exist while in a relationship. I trust her and don't believe she has or ever would cheat on me, but this situation makes me very uncomfortable. I understand that I was in the wrong to give her an ultimatum, but I felt that the conditions were not completely insane. Redditor's reactions. Next story after Redditor 1 hours and S-time messages. I'm sorry, that's just crazy. Op answer, that was before we were together, but they still talk nearly every day. She has assured me that they are nothing more than friends and I believe her. I've seen the conversations and there is nothing suspicious about it now, but it makes me uncomfortable that they talk as frequent as they do and I don't know what to think of if I'm being unreasonable. Redditor 2, she told me there's not much she can do as they are just friends now and that we have different views on how friendships work. What does she mean by this? My advice is to be firm on your boundaries here. It'll probably mean the end of your relationship, but no relationship is better than an unhealthy one. Redditor 3, I don't see why you were wrong. Most people wouldn't like their partner to have friends they had a sexual relationship with before. Other people wouldn't be concerned, but you are well within the norm to react. Story 2, seeking guidance, support, seeking advice. Here's the story. My 44M wife 43F has carried out an EA with a co-worker and admitted as much. I don't have any direct knowledge of PA. It has been 6 weeks since D-Day 1. They are in the same tier of middle management, at a regional hospital. They work closely together, along with others of the various departments of the hospital. I confronted her after sensing that something was off and noticing a distinct lack of affection connection in the prior weeks. About us, we are high school sweethearts, we have been together for almost 28 years, married for almost 21 anniversary is in early August. We have 2 children, 13F and 10M. We have had an excellent marriage. Best friends. Never a complaint or even thought of infidelity. We did everything together and loved it. Following COVID and dealing with the obvious stresses of the pandemic, being that she works in a hospital, patient safety, her safety, our safety, etc., it has taken a toll on her. She took this promotion about 15 months ago. I suggested and recommended to her that she should apply. She was the best internal candidate, by far. Once she took the promotion, the extra work came. I was understanding at first, but at a certain point, I could definitely sense that it was a distraction from us. We always spend the time after the kids went to bed, watching mindless television, but that soon switched to her doing work. I wouldn't have been upset had it not been for the fact that it was always during our time. Some months ago, things were turning around at her work, fully staffed, projects in good flow, to a point where she was kicking ass. I recognized this and complimented her on this every chance. I could sense something was off though when she was too busy to schedule our summer vacation. Further, she was always talking about the AP. Initially, I thought nothing of it. In a way, she was making light of his situation in a difficult marriage and contemplated D with OBS as ours was so strong. A little while later she disclosed that AP was also pursuing another single mother co-worker, also in the same tier of management. That didn't pan out. On May 2nd all talk of AP ceased. This is when things started to feel different. I took notice. 6 weeks ago I saw over her shoulder while golfing, a message from AP. That was odd. Later I confronted her about it, explained the dreams, nightmares that I was having, that she was having an affair. I broke down, hard. She consoled me and assured me that nothing was happening. The next morning, I confronted her about AP again. I brought up the text messages again. She said that she couldn't show me any, that she had deleted them. She explained that she knew I would be upset as she was discussing our marriage and her frustrations with me, being upset about the extra workload. She couldn't explain what had or was happening. We went our separate ways that morning. She said she was writing down her thoughts. Today 7:15, I looked through the cell phone bill, on the same morning that she claimed to be alone, writing down her thoughts. She had a 36-minute phone call with him. Obviously, I didn't know it then, but when we talked in subsequent conversations, I asked if she spoke with him that morning. She said no. Since then, it's been trickle truths, layers after layers revealed about her true feelings, and evidently some lies. For a while, I was getting past the EA. We were having decent conversations. However, after initiating MC and having 2 sessions, we determined that she needed time and space to determine why she felt like she needed her independence at this time in our lives. She feels alive with the quality and quantity of work and she knows she is excelling. She doesn't feel connected to me at home. Monday after work she told me that she loved me, but wasn't in love with me anymore, and that she is going to explore this in IC. She had one IC, already this week, and following that appointment said that the therapist stated that people can fall out of love and that she needed to validate her feelings. WW validated it in session and tearfully admitted again that she is not in love with me anymore. WW isn't sure if she wants R or not. She said that she needs more time. She doesn't know how R would work. She also doesn't know how D would work either. We are comfortable in our small town, nice house, 2 great jobs, good support systems, but she only has her dad, advanced onset of Alzheimer's, and I only have my mom, both their spouses passed 5 years ago. Another inextricable bond of trauma. I love her dad and know what hell it is going to be caring for him. My mom knows WW only as her fourth child, as our families were very close through the years. My siblings and their families love her. Since Monday's bomb, I've been 180ing and grey rocking to decent effect. She still says goodnight and goodbye, which I acknowledge, but don't reciprocate directly. No illies. She's been sleeping in the basement since Monday. I know she's crying herself to sleep. I separate myself and read on the porch in the evenings before retiring to bed. The kids are picking up on the signals too. I start IC in 10 days or so. I need advice. Should I share the screenshot with timestamp of the I'm writing down my thoughts on June 4th, as well as the cell phone record that shows the call timestamp and duration? I don't know how it will damage my 180 grey rock work. If I should wait, I need to know why I should hide this information and for how long, or wait until the next confrontation, not initiated by me. Was the call on D-Day a see-ya call? Was it a breakup call? Was it a let's change how we communicate call? I don't know what I'd do with the information, but I've been considering D in light of this new information today. Thank you for reading this far. I found the sub this week and have been reading since Monday night. I'm sorry to all the other BS here, and I'm grateful to know that I'm not alone, and I hope that you know that you're not alone either. It's been hell. Redditor's reactions update after. Redditor 1, you can't make someone love you, but you can show them what it is like to have no love for someone. Continue Grey Rock. Remember, she had no issues looking elsewhere. You owe her nothing at this point. Redditor 2, don't wait to get in touch with a divorce attorney. You need to know what steps you should start taking to protect yourself and your children, even if you decide to reconcile. A fool's errand in my opinion. WW isn't sure if she wants her or not. In other words, no, she has already chosen not to reconcile, but she doesn't want to admit it. Hang in there with the Grey Rock, you can and will be happy again. Redditor follow-up, this here op. And I am sorry you are here. She sadly told you and the therapist she loves you but not in love with you. Kiss of death, I am sorry to say. She feels that since she is crushing it at work and that she has drawn the attention of another man, that hey, why is she waiting around? She is not getting any younger, so she needs to be free. Well, I hate to say, but you are not getting any younger, you are in massive pain, so you need to give her what she wants. It hurts, but she does not want I'm not sure, and she is lying to you about the AP. I think you deserve better. Redditor 3, have you demanded that there be no further contact of her with the AP? As long as there is contact, the affair continues. Have you been tested for STIs? If they are in the same room at the same time, there is opportunity. Get tested, it sends the message that you no longer trust her. Continue with the 180 Grey Rock method. Do not respond to anything other than children's needs, finances or separation. Consult with a lawyer, find out what divorce, separation looks like in your particular situation. Get the facts from a professional. This knowledge helps you make informed decisions for yourself and your children going forward. Do not act depressed. Go to the gym, start a good workout routine, it helps ease stress, anxiety and anger. As a side benefit, you look and feel better about yourself. Find a hobby, or pick up on an old one you used to like. Get busy. Meet up with friends once in a while. Go for a long walk, get dressed up as if you are going out, even if you are just going to go walk around a Walmart for an hour or two. Start doing things, Force yourself at first, it will be easier each time you do it. Show her you can live a normal healthy life without her. Answer, already working on much of what you've offered. Thanks. Need to find a testing site that is not our local care provider or the one she works for. Very small town and need to be very discreet. I definitely asked for North Carolina with AP, but they work together and I know it will be impossible. Therefore, I'm slowly coming around to the notion that D is the best solution. Crushing my 5Ks and Peloton workouts. Update to Seeking Guidance Advice Part 2. First, thank you to everyone who replied and gave me advice or recommendations. Everyone's support via reply or DM has been helpful. Here is an update. Part 1 is here. Friday came and went without any conversation. She wept herself to sleep and I was somehow able to get a few hours of sleep in the meantime. Saturday morning was tense. At some point we were in the bedroom together getting ready for the day and out of nowhere she said, "I know we need to talk, I am just not sure when is appropriate and how." She came in for a hug, the first in about a week. I replied that it was her choice on the conversation and reciprocated the hug. We broke the hug eventually, no further physical contact ensued. We took a few steps apart and she started to speak. After a few bullshit sentences, I was sensing it was my time and best opportunity to bring in my evidence about the call to AP on the morning of D-Day. I demanded to know what the content of the conversation was. I demanded to know the physical level of their EA. When I brought this all to light, WW had a mini breakdown. She dumped what would end up being half-truths about the situation. It had gotten physical but only kissing once. Nothing else. The call was to discuss what they were both feeling. I was livid. I continued to press. The one kiss turned into 4 times, then to I don't keep track of it, finally to multiples times weekly. I asked her if I needed to take any STI tests, to which she was visibly shocked, and replied no. I pressed her on this multiple times and throughout it was always a defiant no. I am inclined to believe her on this one. I was able to eventually take her phone and to confirm that everything had been deleted. There were no texts already expected this and to check other apps like Messenger. That was the new channel to communicate, she admitted. We had more conversation and arguments about these new truths and it was clear in this moment that she had no intention of breaking the affair off and that she was in love limerence with AP, whether she could answer that or not when I asked. During the heat of the moment, I sent a message to OBS and introduced myself along with providing my phone. She has not contacted me yet. Again, WW flipped out, not because I sent the message to a stranger but because I was blowing up AP's bubble too. I told WW that she was no longer welcome in our house and that she would have to stay at her father's while the kids stay with me. She didn't fight that. She offhandedly said I was kicking her out. I replied that that is what she wanted anyway. This was the beginning of her desired separation, but it was on my terms and my call to make. We told the kids the basics of why she was leaving but no details about the affair. Our son broke down many times throughout the day once we told them. So sad? I have placed a call to a recommended attorney. It's the weekend so I don't expect a call until Monday. Set up a consultation, and see where we go from here. WW has not gotten better at concealing anything. She called rather than FaceTime or Messenger calls so I have additional records of them being in touch with one another. She also started looking at Zillow listings in our area. Anything she favorites comes to my inbox as well, as we had that sharing set up from our past. Lol. I have also spoken to OBS at length this morning. She was blindsided. I provided a timeline. It synced with AP's story. I provide the details, that also synced up. Or they corroborated their stories to hide the actual stuff. Ike. AP was kicked out of his home too. Her children hate him now, they are much younger than mine. It's all a disaster. I'm not going to inform HR, I don't want to jeopardize the dissolution process and any favorable outcomes for me and the kids, by getting her fired. Her mother had a history of deep depression. WW also has suffered from depression and anxiety over the years. She isn't thinking clearly, but it is too late for that now, I'm afraid. She will only come crawling back once she realizes AP is just as messed up. I'll be okay, I have a great family and support structure in town. Great job and an amazing boss who is aware of the basics of the issue, as I confided in him Thursday. It will hurt and I know there will be much more difficult times ahead, but for now, I'll keep up with my running and exercise. Thanks for reading. Thanks again for any insight or further recommendations. Appreciate it. Redditor's reactions. Redditor 1, be proud of yourself for not playing this game according to her rules and to take back the control of the situation. Most affairs implode once they are pulled out of the shadows into the bright daylight, and by informing the OBS, you not only gave her the chance to make an informed decision, you also pulled the affair a bit out of the shadows. Even though you believe her that you don't need STD test, please still make one. Lying to you is by now as normal as breathing for her, so do a test. Better safe than sorry. Inform your friends as well about why you are approaching a divorce before she will tell her version of the events, where you never supported her in the new job, screamed at her because she was doing overtime at her new job and turned the kids against her. Here, just like before, better safe than sorry. Stay on your path, talk to the lawyer on Monday and get the divorce ball rolling. Up to now her affair was nothing else but a pleasurable experience with no responsibility and no consequences. That needs to change. Think about to meet with OBS and figure out if you can work together in keeping each other updated about the situation. Nothing will get your wife and her lover more frustrated and nervous than to realize that you are teaming up with OBS and become a united force that works against them together. Please stay away from alcohol and drugs, they won't help you. Drink plenty of water and eat healthy. And never forget, just because she was no longer able to see how wonderful you are, doesn't make you any less wonderful. Op answer, we will definitely be in touch via Messenger. I don't think we need to meet up. She was blindsided yesterday, but she had thought something was up for a while. She is working through the phases, where I was 6 weeks ago, only armed with more of the truth than I had at the same time. Thanks. Redditor 2, your situation is pretty traumatic for your children. I suggest you arrange counseling for them. Op answer, thanks. My sister-in-law is finishing up some university courses to switch to childhood psychiatry or something like that, and should be valuable resource with the group she is planning to work with. Redditor 3, stay strong mate, and I know you probably still have feelings for her, but love isn't magic. She can't undo what she did and she can't repair what she broke. She probably did more than kiss, because adults don't just kiss. So get tested for STDs, now and in a few months. To move on faster you need to distract yourself with positive stuff: sport, gym, food, friends, family, going out, doing new activities, etc. Keep yourself open to the world even if you have to force yourself a little. Make sure to listen to your lawyer and build the best case possible. Since she is in the fog, you could even get a good divorce. For your kids, it's good that you told them the basics, Now they will know what cheating do and they will learn from it and it will help them in their future relationships. Show them that self-respect, loving yourself etc. is important. Good luck. Ready to follow up. You can assume the multiple times kissing each week was actually sex. That is the first go to wenting. It's never just kissing when an affair is in the offing. They almost always take the first opportunity they get to be alone to consummate the burning sexual desire they have built up with all the flirting and sexting leading up to being alone together.